Hello, Reborners. My name is Karen, and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We're back with Frankie. He just has one more step to go, and that is his blush and tipping his nails. And when we finish that, he'll go in for his last bake, and he'll be a finished baby. So here we go. We're going to get him started right away because we want to get him done. And, oh, my fingers. Oh, get so much paint on my fingers. Oh, here we go. I got a brush and a clean sponge. Even though it's cleanish, it's not actually a brand new sponge. I've been dabbing with it. At some point when my sponges are too dirty to dab with anymore, I tear off the end and I make a painting sponge out of them. Gotta get all the mileage you can out of these sponges. They go fast as it is. A lot faster than you think they will. His lips look really good. His nails look really good. He's ready for this last coat of paint. He really is. He's going to be a lovely little baby. He'll be kind of dark. I don't know if you'd consider him some other ethnicity or not, but I don't care. I like the way he looks. I wanted him to be kind of dark, and oh, I don't need to do that yet. Getting all ahead of myself here. I haven't sponged his face yet. I'm about ready to sponge off the excess when I haven't even finished sponging him. Getting excited about him being finished. I love Frankie. He's one of my favorite sculpts, and he is no longer available, so I'll be keeping this Frankie probably. I put all my dolls up for sale, but somehow in my mind I have this idea that, you know, if I don't go down on the price or offer any offers to people or anything like that on the dolls I really like, I can't help if they don't sell. I get to keep them. But I feel compelled to try to sell every doll. I don't know why. And I said, well, you know, if somebody paid my price, they want to pay my price, I'll be willing to give him up. Otherwise, I'm not. I'm just going to keep him. So that's a philosophy to have. I'd rather keep him than sell him, but if I get my price, I'll sell him. If I don't, well, he's in my collection. He sits up there with all the other dolls, and I count him as one of mine. He is up for grabs, though. He will be, that is, when he's finished. I'm going to give him some hair and dress him real cute and photograph him and all that stuff, and then he'll be for sale. Let him sit right there while I do his arms and legs. Remember, he was a little darker to begin with. That's why he's a little darker now. I just think dolls that are a little off color, they make excellent darker babies. You don't need to, unless you want them to be super pale. I'm trying to achieve this color on all my dolls, and I'm not getting there because, well, they don't have this extra little boost at the beginning like this doll had. He had a darker kit. And it's not because he's an old doll, because I've had plenty of Charlottes, plenty of Frankies. Charlotte's limbs are used for Frankie. That's a common thing Bountiful Baby does, is they don't make brand new limbs for every sculpt that they make. They just sculpt ahead, and they have already chosen what limbs are going to come with it. It's not like some companies only really sculpt heads anyway, and then you have to go through and find a set of limbs that you like. And they have 3 or 4 different sets of limbs, and that's it. It's not like that you have to buy your limbs separate. They come with the kit, but they do say Charlotte on them. They were originally made for Charlotte, so that's why they say Charlotte. And there's another doll that has Naomi limbs, and they say Naomi on them, but they do go with that doll. So it's sometimes confusing to people who have never had an artist kit from Bountiful Baby. And they'll be in the doll group, and they'll put up a post that says, oh, I didn't get the right limbs. The head says this and the arms say this. And you have to tell them, you know, oh, those are the right limbs. that one just comes with those limbs. And it's quite confusing if you're not used to it. But I'm really, really used to it. I noticed a long time ago that they used to put up I don't know if they still have it, but they used to put up a little site that said dolls that share limbs. And you can see like this doll and this doll and this doll all have the same limbs. And sometimes they say all of the names on them, and sometimes they don't say any names on them at all. They just have a number. that corresponds with the head. They'll put Frankie, maybe JD2785. I just made that up. And then on the limbs, even though it says Charlotte, it might say JD2875 on it, so that they correspond with the head as well, you know. So I don't know. Maybe Charlotte had that number on her as well. I don't know, but somehow they go together. It's kind of confusing. You just have to be used to it. I'm used to it. Anyway, we're going to get Frankie all finished here very soon. And then I'll have 3 dolls waiting to be rooted. Ugh. I used to really get the rooting done a lot faster than I'm getting it done now because I'm just not sticking with it that much. I'll be going, oh, that head's so hard. I don't really want to root on it. I know I'm going to break 3 or 4 needles tonight, just in the little bit I work on her tonight. And and so I've been putting it off. I'm still trying to get Emmy rooted. Emmy has been a problem. These other dolls don't have heads that hard. I don't think they'll be that much of a problem, but Emmy is proving to be quite difficult. And I may stick her aside and just go to the next doll for a chance to root a little faster. I just don't even want to root her. I'm so upset about it. It's usually if a doll has a really, really hard head like that, I don't even root them because I have a Steven I didn't root because his head was super hard. And and he is part of my collection also now because I started rooting him in the back. So down by his hairline back here in the back, there's holes you can actually see. I pulled the hair back out because I said, nope. He already had penciled hair and I was going to pencil over it. And I said, he'll just be one of my dolls now because I don't turn them around and look at the back of their head like that anyway. So if he has a little bit of a boo-boo on the back of his head from needles going in and out and no hairs, that's okay with me. He had hard sealer on his head. I really packed that sealer on top of that penciled hair, I guess. You know, in order to pencil hair on a doll, they have to have a kind of rough head already. So you have to seal before you put the pencil on, and then you put the pencil on, and then you seal after you put the pencil on to keep it from rubbing off. And so it's 2 layers thick, and it's kind of hard and crunchy, and it was making a crunchy sound even when I was putting the needle in and out. And when you have sealer on that thick, I didn't spare the sealer. I wasn't trying to go thin or anything. When it's on that thick, it leaves a little white, crunchy mark on the head where the needle went in and out and broke through that sealer. And it's kind of funny looking, really. And with no hair to cover it up, I pulled the hair out because I couldn't seem to root it. And with no hair to cover that up, it's quite odd looking on the doll. So I just said, oh well, it'll just be in my collection. Eventually, it kind of bucks the sealer up a little, and then you can see it a little bit. It's kind of whitish looking. But eventually, I think it'll, you know, if I held them more than I do, which I don't, I just admire them. If I held them more than I do and changed their clothes and all kind of things like that, it would probably wear down pretty quick, and you wouldn't see those little white things on the back of its head anymore. But long story short, I don't hold them that much. I only really pick them up occasionally, and then I clean them as well. After they've been sitting there for a little while, they'll start to look dusty. And I'll get them down and I'll clean them. And I'll take away a nice soft rag and I'll wet it in water and wipe them down. Just water, that's all. And wipe them down real good because that will get all the dust and dirt off of them. And then if they have hair, real hair, I spray their hair and comb it and everything, and that'll get the dust off of there. But usually with dolls that have painted on hair, that, you know, they don't have any, I mean, drawn on hair, they don't have any sort of real hair to brush or anything, so you're just wiping their head, you know. And so that wiping Anything that brushes against your doll a whole lot is going to sort of begin to wear down the roughness of the sealer. I've noticed dolls that I bought back when I was buying dolls. At first, I thought I was just getting used to the way the sealer felt, that they would feel rough to me, and then after a while, they didn't feel so rough anymore. But then I noticed, no, that's not what's happening. Actually, I think the sealer's wearing down a little. And I'm pretty sure that's what happens. It does wear down a little because it's when it feels rough, it's because all of the sealer isn't laying down flat and even with the skin. It's like, oops, don't let your doll touch the rim of your jar. You'll be sorry. It's like the sealer is pointy, like little pieces of ice or something sticking up. I don't know. And you're knocking the little edge off of it, I guess, the little pointy edge that sticks up. Does that make sense? And you're not going to ever really wear down all the sealer unless you just super handle them and wash them every day like you're actually pretending they're a real baby or something like that. And then you might, but that's still kind of iffy if you could even do that. I'm putting a second coat on him on camera because, well, I just went right straight to it. And then we're going to get him in the oven and he will be finished. He will be coming out and getting his glue on his lips and his rims and stuff, so that, in his magnet, so that he can be drying up so I can put hair on him. I don't like to do any of that stuff after I get their hair on. I like all that done first. One thing is the hair is kind of well, it's pretty rugged. The hair is pretty rugged. It's not like it's just going to start falling out if you have to put eyes in or something with hair on them. But if you glue the hair, you're going to have a problem getting inside that head after that because of the glue. The glue just runs all over in there. It's all over everywhere, and you'd have to cut through glue and eye sockets to get. I just like putting my eyes in as soon as they get out of the oven. Well, not as soon. I let them cool. I don't try to do anything on a hot doll head. I know a lot of people heat the head up to put the hair in. I do not. I know a lot of people heat the head up to put the eyes in. I do not. I find it's easier with it cold. And the reason for that being is the eye socket is very thin to begin with. And when you cut it, you're making a slit in it. And that little piece you cut away from the rest of the eye socket, it makes a flap kind of. And the edge of that flap tends to want to fold in as you're putting the eyeball in if it's too warm. It'll fold down and you'll have so much trouble straightening that thing out. And it took me forever to figure out, hey, you know what? It's much easier cool. And this is how I figured it out. It was taking me so long to get the eye in that the head actually cooled off. And I'm going, okay, well, now that it's cool, boom, it just went right in, you know. And so, you know, a lot of the things I figured out by accident. It was just a pure accident that I even figured it out. This paper towel is driving me crazy. It just won't stay up there. I usually put one long piece all the way across. But for some reason, I didn't do that this time. I don't know why. I guess the paper towel just tore before I was ready for it to. And I got a shorter piece. And so I just put it on there like that. And now it's making me crazy. Because it wants to slip down all the time. And there you go, Frankie. I just dearly love painting dolls. It is so relaxing and it's my time. I can sit here and think about things, or I can talk to the camera or whatever, but the whole time I'm working on my dolls, and I find it very rewarding to make dolls. It might sound stupid to most people, and maybe even to some of y'all. I don't know, but I really enjoy doing it. It's it's not just what I do to make money. It's my hobby. And if you can make a little money doing it, yay, you know. I'd probably do it anyway. I would just have to do it much slower than I'm doing it now, because I don't have just an endless amount of funds that I can just spend on making dolls. But I do enjoy making them. I do that. But if I didn't, if let's say, for example, nobody ever bought another doll from me, I would still make dolls because I want to donate dolls, number one. Number two, it's my hobby and I want to do it because it's fun. And I would just have to allot a smaller amount each month because it's considered money lost that way. This is making me crazy. I just have to take this off the table. I just have to. Uh, but I would still do it because I want to make dolls. I enjoy it too much. And I would just end up probably donating all the dolls I didn't want to keep. I'd want to keep most of them though, probably. But I am actually trying to get my doll inventory up for Christmas. I got to order some dolls that have been out of stock for a long time today. I highly recommend if you have any money at all that you want to invest in making dolls, now is the time to do it. $19.99 for the next few days is it's going to be changing wildly because that's what they do. They put up a doll. Michael has already sold out. He's a popular kit. I was lucky to get two. He went on sale sometime during the day today. And right around the time I was making my order, he was about to run out. And I got two of them. I checked my receipt to make sure they didn't take him back off because he just moments after I placed my order, he ran out. And sometimes that means you're not going to get your order because, well, they ran out before they got to you and you just happen to check out and get it on your invoice, but they're going to be issuing a refund. And so I'm still waiting to see if that's going to happen. It's going to break my heart if it does because as soon as I saw him, I knew that I wanted to get him. And I opted at the very last moment, right before I checked out, to put two of them down because of all the dolls I have 70-something dolls made and ready for sale. And of all the dolls I have posted up for sale, he has the most watchers, and he's in 4 people's cart, which I know nobody's buying. I get it. It doesn't mean a thing unless they check out. But it does mean interest. He is a popular kit, and I can't wait to make another one. As soon as I get him, he's getting sealed and getting made. And I think I'll make him a blonde because the one I have up for sale is a brunette. And he's a lovely little doll. And the lady that keeps asking for him, she wants to trade a doll. She wants to sell her doll so she can buy him. She's asked me for several deals, but she has not bought. It's Michael. That's the one she wants. And evidently 3 other people want him too. Only one person will be getting him, but I can offer at least one more Michael to them. And yay, that's all I can say. I'll be able to offer another Michael. And I got Autumn. I've never had an Autumn. She's a cute kit. And I got I can't even remember. Ashley Asleep. She's been out for such a long time and I wanted her. Ashley Awake has a very strange look on her face. But Ashley Asleep is very, very cute. I can't remember the rest of the ones I picked. And my phone's on the charger in there in my bedroom, so I can't check it. Okay, now we're going to tip his nails. Why is that one out? I'm not even using that color. This is a whole separate process, but I have to do it now because I don't want to do another bake. This is what I was talking about. I don't know, I might have said it in Liam's video, that there's some paints you use so little of, you can't even use a jar. It's such a tiny, tiny amount. And in order to be able to reach it with your toothpick to get a little bit out, it needs to be in a more shallow container. So I mix it in a little bottle cap, and then I put it in this little Ziploc bag, along with my scratch stuff. And that way I can get to it and use it, and it doesn't dry out. I made this for absolutely one time. I was going to try to tip a doll's nails, and this was how much I thought I was going to make because you just only need a tiny amount. So I just used my thinning medium, and I just got a little bit out and drizzled it in here, just a teeny little bit. And then I took a little color and mixed it in, and it made so much. I've tipped every doll I've ever tipped. I've used the same tipping stuff. It will eventually dry out, and I'll have to get more, but until then, I'm going to keep using it. You just swipe it across the nail to the best of your ability. My ability's not all that good. I have very shaky hands, but it comes out with a little tip on there. It looks a little better after the shiny stuff goes on. It doesn't look as bumpy and crooked. If anybody was to really stop and really evaluate their fingernails, they'd be going, boy, she did a bad job on that. And at times I think, you know, it's better just to not do it if you're going to do it that sloppy. But you know what? I really like tip nails. So here I am doing it. I'm trying to stay right on the tip of the nails. It's a little bit easier if you can do that. But with shaky hands, you don't know where that toothpick's going to land. And it's sometimes scratching itself back off before you even get it on there good. It's very, very hard for me. It's not a hard process. The very first doll I tipped had very nice looking nails, and it was my first time. I couldn't believe they looked so good. And but you know, it does matter how tired you are, how much stuff you've done that day. You know, when you have shaky, if you have at all shaky hands, you know what I'm talking about. When you're not tired, they don't shake as much, and when you're not, you haven't been overly doing things, just using your hands a lot makes them shake. And so some days you can do it. There's kids outside. Oh my goodness, they're making a lot of noise. They sound like they're in my living room hollering. But sometimes you can just do it so good, and other times it's just so crooked. But you don't know what's this time going to be like. You know, the only thing I did today that could be anywhere considered strenuous at all was I made some dishes. We're having a big dinner tomorrow for my sister's birthday, and her son's coming, and I wanted to, you know, make her a birthday dinner. And so, you know, it's big like a Thanksgiving dinner. So I wanted to get started today getting some of the stuff prepared because, you know, it's just a big undertaking for one day. And so I made a few dishes to go toward her dinner, but that shouldn't make your hands shaky, but nonetheless, it can. Especially if I was to carry heavy things, you know, your arms even shake then. And one good part about tipping nails is if you make a mistake, it's very, very super easy to wipe it off. I meant to get my hair cut today and I didn't do it. I might do it tomorrow, early in the morning. I need to get hold. I'm lucky in that we have a barber that lives downstairs and in the front of this building that I live in, and she is very good. And we used to be next door neighbors when we lived in the front, and she cut my hair then when she was still going to barber school. And I know you're thinking, well, what is there to cut in hair? Just cutting it off. But there is still an art to it, and she's very, very professional. Even though she's just cutting my hair down to really, really short with a razor kind of, she still makes sure she goes all around the edges and straightens it up and all that kind of stuff, which I told her wasn't even necessary. When my son was cutting my hair, he never did that stuff, and I don't know, it never bothered me that he didn't. So I told her, I said, you really do not have to do that, and she still does it. But yeah, I don't have to go away from the apartment complex to get my hair cut. I like that. Oh crap, I can't get it on the tip of the nail. It's driving me nuts. You have to be very, very careful how you put it on to get it right on the tip. This is one of those take your time things. It doesn't take that long. It's very quick. But if you try to hurry with it, you're going to end up having to wipe it off a bunch of times. And you don't want it on the tip of the finger. You want it on the tip of the nail. I'm putting it on the tip of the finger. The nail does raise up It's not just, you know, it is a little higher than the edge of the finger, just like a nail really is. And if you can get that toothpick up against that little raised up part, it's a little bit easier to get it on the tip. There, he's tipped. Anyway, I'm gonna get him in the oven real quick, and Liam's out there now, and he's waiting for me to come get him. So I'll be getting him and finishing up Liam's video as well. So anyway, I'm going to remind you to please like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.